with Meaghan Collier and Andy Justice. This is Studio 4.
Get this, my next guest is going to show us how to pack for a 2-week trip with only a carry-on. So Mardi Gras wraps up tonight, but New Orleans doesn't ever shut down, right? You've got some great festivals coming up, don't you? A beverage bottled, invented right here in the Texas campus on social media since the Olympics began, as Michael Phelps gathered with his teammates by the pool before their gold medal swim. 6 million women are actually playing in fantasy leagues. We make up 20% of the fantasy population. The Corey Hunt Band has found a home in the Lone Star State, making a name for themselves, hitting the road on the Texas country music hotspot. And as I learned, our community is forced to ask other states to help us deal with our animal overpopulation issue. This is your signature. The Prophets and Outlaws brand of country is a little different than the ones that you hear every day. It's a little bit country and a lot of soul, and that's why we love these guys. Making sure that kids are clothed with dignity and they're excited about what they're wearing to school every day. And it's all thanks to you guys and your donations. And so it's easy to assume there's still plenty of people out there looking to take what's yours and make it their own. So we set out to get in the mind of one of these habitual offenders to get some advice on how to protect yourself and your stuff. And we're doing this because the iconic band, of course, coming to Amarillo on Monday, and oh my gosh, this song, it's everything. One local choir. The former supervisor of Amarillo's Emergency Communications Center speaks for the first time since the 911 controversy erupted 2 weeks ago. It means that it's difficult to get a meal on the table. My good pal Felice Acker. Amarillo is home to a unique sort of mobile business, and the owner can't wait for it to really go places.
TV. This is Fox 14 News at 9 in high definition.
Flu season is upon us, so look at why there are so many cases in our area this year. And Amarillo police arrest a woman who allegedly tried to rob a local bank. We'll tell you what went wrong. Those stories 1 hour earlier on Fox 14's News at 9. Texas leads the country in the number of flu cases to start the new year. Tomorrow, President Trump will host both Democrats and Republicans at the White House to discuss immigration reform. Democrats say their top priority is protecting 800,000 younger, undocumented immigrants from deportation. The question now, will the White House make a deal that makes everyone happy? Fox 14's White House correspondent Mark Meredith takes a closer look from your local election headquarters. Now, the White House says it supports a deal to keep dreamers in the U.S., but only if Congress spends billions more on border security. The president will make that case directly to lawmakers when he sits down with them on Tuesday. A woman is in custody after an attempted robbery at a South Amarillo bank. It happened shortly after noon at the Citizens Bank at I-27 in Georgia. Police on the scene say that the woman went into the bank and said, quote, "This is a robbery." Police say that the suspect did not show a weapon, and before she could get any money, an employee hit the panic alarm. The suspect was arrested a few minutes later in the area of 10th and Georgia. An armed man robbed a TOOT and TOTUM in West Amarillo last night just before 11. Officers were called to the TOOT and TOTUM near Southwest 3rd and Western. That's where a man in a gray hoodie, black sweatpants, and a baseball cap came into the store, pointed what is believed to be a knife at the victims, and left with an undisclosed amount of money. No one was injured. Anyone with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. The Canyon Police Department is helping its community be more prepared in an active shooter situation. On January 23rd from 5:30 until 7 in the Adobe Room at the Cole Community Center, CPD will be teaching a CRACE class for the city of Canyon. Church security teams in Amarillo also have an opportunity soon. Next Monday at 2, the Amarillo Police Department will cover all aspects of CRACE at the First Christian Church in Snodgrass Hall on Wolflin. Both classes are free and anyone can attend. There is no registration. You just need to show up.
Is moving south.
A look at what's opening back up and what's closing down on the highway is after the break. But first, here's John.
Crazy. It might be overwhelming for some, but Bushland native Libby Lane has it in the bag. Here's Meaghan with her story.
A very artistic family, very creative, so I was always around creative things and people, and so it was very normal.
Creativity, check. Understanding of the materials, check, check.
I connected being raised on a farm in Bushland. My dad raised cattle, so yeah, like immediately I connected the saddle makers, the boot makers here. It just seemed so natural. You know, going from the meat packing plants to seeing the finished product, you know, in a hide form, it was extraordinary. It was really exciting.
It was during her time attending the Art Institute of Chicago that her passions collided at a tannery.
I fell in love with the process of leather, and it was like ground floor all the way up. I got to see the entire steps, smell everything. I bought leather, I took it back to school, and we had industrial sewing machines and drafting tables and stuff. That's where I learned how to do everything. And I just started making stuff out of the leather, anything I could.
The design that stuck? Handbags. And it all started because she and her sisters needed to find the perfect bag.
I decided to start making totes that we could carry throughout the city. So like we'd be gone from 8 in the morning till 10 at night or whatever.
So it had to be sturdy.
Yeah, it had to be sturdy. It had to be stylish, that you could take to work out, dinner, whatever, cocktails after.
Her bags were a hit with her sisters and beyond, and the word got out.
I started making these and selling them as a business. And 6 months after I began, I was I was contacted by Vogue and American Vogue, and they asked to run a story. I was a little apprehensive because I was very new and I didn't know what I was doing.
She went ahead and took them up on the offer. Fast forward to placements in Vogue, Vogue Japan, Martha Stewart Living, Southern Living, Texas Monthly, Garden & Gun. Libby Lane's handbags were in demand.
From day one, I always wanted to keep that in-house quality and the feel of Texas, I guess, and especially the Panhandle where I was raised.
And so return she has to the Panhandle, a one-person design house almost hidden on Southwest 15th.
Turn.
Thousands of bags, many of them named after the sisters and friends who inspired them. They're hand-constructed daily, and she considers them her babies. By the way, she also has one of those.
I was working nonstop all the time, and now it's given me a good balance for my life and for the business as well. So it's kind of given. I've had 2 babies. I've had my business baby and my real baby, and it's definitely given me an outlook to expand and hire and enter into that other world.
So what's next for this modern-day matriarch? The world, of course.
I'm always surprised at how many people are appreciative of my stuff, which is really, it's great.
For Studio 4, I'm Meaghan Collier.
Well, we've got a little travel inspiration for you today. Unfortunately, you probably won't find a travel companion quite as cute as this one.
It's true. 2 fellas, best of friends, who love to travel. And they're going on a great adventure, and that is today's Heart of the High Plains. You have to assume some friendships are just meant to be.
I had him about 9 years. He was my grandfather's dog. I inherited from him before he passed away, and it's been the greatest thing for me.
His name is Buddy Dog. He's 15 years old, not quite sure what kind of dog he is.
He's got that puppy face and just kind of adorable.
Buddy's got a penchant for travel.
We've been all the way to the West Coast, to San Francisco. We've been up to North Dakota. We've been over to Florida, to Orlando and Cape Canaveral. He's been to the beach, the mountains, wherever, you name it. He's just been about all over the U.S.
A well-traveled canine indeed, never too excited, always willing to stop for a quick photo.
We'll stop and sit out and take some pictures and just enjoy being out in nature. And
his favorite spot, Carl says, is Peladuro Canyon. He says Buddy Dog has been there so much that he knows when he's there. Still on the bucket list, Canada.
I think everybody that loves pets and stuff knows that how special they are, and they miss you when you leave, and they're always the most happiest person in the room when you come in after being gone at work all day and stuff, and they really make you feel good. Always there to listen and to talk to, and an ear to and something to lean on.
Come on. A journey with a best friend is a special one indeed.
Buddy Dog, I love that.
I know, Buddy Dog's a good dog.
That's a good one. I like that.
All right. Carl and Buddy Dog just recently moved from Amarillo to Arkansas. Carl says there will be plenty of new adventures for the 2 of them to go on.
That dog has been on more trips than I have.
I know, right? Truth.